Hello and good evening. You are watching the Policy Times, world's first policy and development media. Since last 4.5 years, Policy Times has been consistently bringing to you important subjects, important issues, and important experts who have been in real life great achievers and have been also contributing in the area of nation building. Hence, our motto is whatever we do, it has to benefit the country. Now, a couple of days back, our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, visited the most advanced, one of the most influential countries of the world, United States, and he brought back messages of bonhomie friendship and benefits both for the corporates as well as the citizens of both countries. And like this, the Prime Minister has visited almost all continents of the world and many of the nations of the world, which are of very importance for nation building and bilateral growth and development. But in all these visits, one message was very clear: is connecting with the diaspora, connecting with the global Indians wherever they are, and how they can contribute, how they are contributing and can contribute for the bilateral relationship, to foster the bilateral relationship of both countries, and wherever they are, how they are contributing and how more they can contribute, and also how much they can contribute back to their motherland India. And this message continue. Dr.P.Sekhar, who is the chairman of Unleashing India and Global Smart City Panel since last 2 decades and more, he has been dedicating his time in terms of achieving similar objectives and similar expectations, outcomes through the series of programs, including the Unleashing India Global Web Summit series. Among all the areas that we have picked, contribution of global Indians for business growth, both for our motherland India and the countries we are living, are of paramount importance and top priority. Today, we have two leading global Indians, one residing in the United States, Mr. Guru Sowle, who is very close to us and has been part of our business shows, and Arunji, Arun coming from Singapore, again contributing in a unique way. So today I'll be very, very excited to hear from both of them. In addition to what they are already doing, how more and what more can we do so that the next 30 years, which belongs to India, can be absolutely leveraged to its maximum to see India as the next global commercial destination of the world. With this, I will hand over the floor to Dr. Sekhar to kindly take this forward.
Thank you, Akram. As Akram has specifically said, that this Global Web Summit series we have started 1.5 years back. This basically is for national reincarnation. The words have been coined so that we know that we used to have growth. We were thinking of $5 trillion economy and the world was growing. And there it is post-COVID. And COVID came and almost brought many things to semi-standstill. And so we say it is post-COVID devastation. And the post word is from last year, March, because we don't believe anything like COVID is going to ever disappear. COVID will always be there, accompanying the world, accompanying the humanity as a type of a disease, type of a syndrome. And it will be in addition to thousands which are already there. But we have to grow. Nation has to grow. And we all have to grow. We all have to contribute. We all have to have our own feet on the ground and our own structures by which We make the plans, we make all, 1 minute, just, yeah. So I'm trying to put a presentation. Yeah. So today is a very important, this is a 146th show to be very precise. And today it is on Global Indians to Lead Business Growth for National Reincarnation. We did have 2 sessions specifically for overseas Indians. Now, overseas Indians play a very significant role, and anything told about them is less, because we do have quite a good number, 32 million and more, and they are there in more than 210 countries in a significant way. And otherwise, in every country they are there, in small numbers at least. And they are themselves a $1 trillion economy, which is something which is very big for people like the 2 who are attending, who are going to give a talk today. And they contribute from various angles. Now, once we say that, global Indians can do, we have to also understand what is India, and we have to understand its complexity, the opportunities, and also the way forward for it to be a global leader. Because when Indians go abroad, there are various types of people who go to other countries. Europeans, Americans, when they go to somewhere, they do something, loot the place, take something and go back. The others like Mughals, when they come and stay put, and then, but they keep their identity. Whereas Indians, wherever they go, they mingle with the people. They are part of the system. They do not try to disturb anything to do with the local system. At the same time, of course, they do keep their identity, but for the growth of the place which they stay in, and also for India's growth. And that significant portion has been very well received, and Indians are the most welcome commodity in the whole world. Also talking of India, so that we also understand the complexity of India and the opportunity. India is like putting 206 countries put together. What do we mean by that? 1.35 billion people. If you go from bottom to top, 260, 1.35 billion comes. So that means as per population, we are having so much of countries we are managing. Second is, India has got almost 3.1 million square kilometers inside. It has got executive exclusive zone above the sea of 2.1 million square kilometers, and it has got 1,200 islands. It has got so many opportunities. India also, we always say there's no land, there's no water. India only uses, we Indians use only 0.4%, 4-5% of India's land. Just all things are there. And also we have enough water. We have got enough water for next 100 years. There's nothing to worry about water. But they all have to be. That is where there is an opportunity for business. Business opportunity is something when everything is there and everything is good. Now there's no business opportunity. When there is a shortage, when there is a lack, when there's a misbalance, then there is a huge opportunity. Every one of what I'm saying gives an opportunity. And also India's population. India has got youngest population in the world. They got more than 400 million people who are youngsters, and 20 million is getting added every year. And there is no end to this addition, which means in 10 years time, we'll be 200 million people more. So which means, we will be almost having one United States every, 10, 12 years. We already have one Australia stokes, Canada every year. So we just to be proud of this, or whether we should take it as a liability, all depends on the way we just see. If you are prosperous and semi-prosperous, this is an asset. If you are non-prosperous, this is a huge liability. If people like the people who are going to talk and we don't take care of this addition which is going to come on any account, is negative. But if you take care of them, there's a huge Now COVID is something which has attacked from nowhere. COVID is something which is attacked. It is supposed to be 1 gram is supposed to be, even as a scientist, I cannot believe the number. 1 gram is supposed to be the total weight of all COVID put together. But still we have to wear masks, we have to do social distancing and all. It is when it is so small, one doesn't know why the mask will this thing. But yes, it is psychological, we should have. And it is only, 1% of the world or 1% in India has got affected on an average. And out of 1%, 98% have got cured. And still it has created a fear. Still it has created a syndrome of World War III. World War III fought without any weapons, without any destruction, without any damage, physical damage done, but it has destroyed the economy. So these are all things which are making India come into a different dimension. Because of this, there will be huge opportunities for India and Indians in India and outside India to have a very good growth. Now, few slides on the successful Indians, of course, including the two who are sitting on this thing, not be limited to which I'm showing. If you see any good country, any good establishment, any good business, we are talking any good business in the world today, including China, there are Indians around. In Western world, they are prominent. They are on the CEO level, they are CSO level, they are many times they are promoters. The largest number of single community which is having unicorns and this, even in USA, are supposed to be Indians. Okay, and they, I mean, a lot of numbers are there which I'm not going to go into detail. You know, Indian Inc. is something which is even saying that in spite of COVID, yes, there is going to be a huge growth, and they mean it because they are one of the most successful people and who are succeeded by their own sweat and blood. That is what is the thing. So these Indians of Indian origin abroad, CEOs, so many others, so many entrepreneurs, and people at the lowest level. Even in USA, I'm told by our own friends in USA that there are almost 25-30% who are below poverty level Indians. It's not that everybody is in the top level. So in fact, there are Indians who are taken it up on themselves to see that the poverty level is going up as much as they do for India. So that is the psyche of a typical Indian. He doesn't look at only his growth and then forgets about the others. He even now thinks of his country. He thinks in his own country of stay, what all things are there where he can contribute, where his company can contribute, where his foundation or trust can contribute, and so on and so forth. So Indians today, even if, something like a Miss World is there, almost 14, 15 countries are represented by people of Indian origin. Almost in 30 countries, topmost politicians come from Indian origin. But they merge with the local population. They never bring that Indianness in their decisions, Indianness in their whatever commercial establishment, Indianness in this thing. But they ensure that there is a strong and good tie-up with India, and by which the country of stay grows, India also grows. So these are various, again, few photographs of reputed Indians in various spheres of life. And there are many who have got waiting in the wings to have awards, rewards, and even the youngest, Indian who has got award even for IQ, and they're all of a different grade. Every TV channel in USA blasts things which are, pretty good for the country to hear, and they are all, neutral channels. They are not something which is paid and, an Indian channel which is there. So this is what is the story of India. This is what is the story of business which they do. Now, while doing all this thing, especially when you're going to talk of India, USA and all, there's something called secured governance, which, coincidentally I'm spearheading. This is for seamless growth of economy. This is something in which the economy grows on a self-sustained model. Here, the advantage is taken of the value created. Like even when I'm saying about overseas Indians, I've written a separate book on overseas Indians, where I'm saying, they all should get involved in banking, they all should get involved in education, they all should get as a commercial entity. I'm not talking about any social service now. So, and then secure governance can play a role to make it self-sustained, because they are going to bring a valuation up. Because of that, the value itself will come free. That means whatever money they invest will come back to them without much problem. At the same time, there will be huge growth. And this is to the concept what I call as the untapped potential for national growth. That means untapped potential means wherever there is some lacuna, that is untapped. That is tapped to this thing. Maybe it could be training, it could be artificial intelligence, it could be in agriculture, it could be in tourism, it could be in any sector. And that is what is there. And this ensures that the fund flow is proper and within the framework of every rules of the government. So with that, I will now actually start inviting our two guests today. First, I will invite our friend from USA, Mr. Guru Sowle. He is a person involved in finance, and he is a very good, he has got a huge team of chartered accountants who are involved, and they are all doing quite a good work. Even for his dream is to list as many Indian companies in US stock exchange, give them funds which US is very desperate to give, do that facilitation job, do a catalytic come facilitation job. That's what is Guru Sowle. Anyway, both of you, when you talk for first 5 minutes, I want you all to talk about yourself, your personal growth and your personal thing. And then next will be on your corporate growth. Third will be on the reincarnation of India and your country. Your one is in USA, one is in Singapore, and US, India and the countries together, how they can grow. Now, coming to second is Arun Nellian. He is in Singapore for last more than 30 years, and he has done a lot of original scientific work. He's more of a scientist come technologist, and he has got so many things which he's involved in, which also I would like him to explain to us in a little more detail in terms of his achievements. And he's also quite a good award-winning person. He's bringing a lot of technologies from various countries to India, and also trying to promote Indian products to Singapore, through Singapore to other countries. And I would like him also to talk about himself first, and then go over to the his corporate journey and national reincarnation. So let me start with Guru Sowle. Can you please start your talk?
Dr. Sekhar, thank you very much for having me on this show. Akram, thanks for the platform again, and good to meet you all. I know you all are doing a great job. Let me first congratulate you for your 146th webinar, and that's huge, and that really shows the consistency, the commitment you all are bringing to this cause of reincarnating India. I particularly liked the coinage of the term reincarnation of India. So this is a kind of transition from growth to reincarnation, which is much more than growth, and that's really significant, and that's very interesting. I also want to mention, Dr. Sekhar, that it really feels proud to be an Indian, and I've traveled across the globe and I've been in US for a while, and whether it's political circle, economic circle, social circle, with Americans, expats, immigrants, there is a huge recognition for the Indian community. And even when you look at it at grassroots level, right? I've been in several situations in day-to-day life where I meet common people all the time because of my wealth management practice, and they tell me, what is so special about Indians? You guys are there everywhere, and you guys are doing so well. So I think that's a huge acknowledgement, and I want to share one story, and I'll be real quick before I talk about myself. I was going through immigration from Toronto to US on one of the flights long back, and the immigration officer asked me, "Don't worry about traveling to US. Okay, tell me what do you guys eat?" I said, "What do you mean? What do you guys eat?" I said, "Well, I'm a vegetarian. I eat rice and lentils." So he said, "No. You give me your secret sauce." I said, "What is that going to get me the entry into US?" He said, "No. I mean, I see so many Indians are so successful, and the kind of mobility you have and the impact you guys are making." And this was an immigration officer complimenting Indians. And I think that is when I woke up and I said, "Wow, India is much more than what we see in the media and the formal platforms, etc." And I have several not so pleasant immigration stories, but I wanted to share a pleasant story today to start with, to see how much Indians have made an impact outside India. I'm pretty sure it is a similar flavor, and I'm sure Arun would agree with that as well. Arun, glad to meet you, and probably the same in Singapore, Australia, and different parts of the world. Uh, so thanks for this opportunity, Dr. Sekhar. As far as I'm concerned, I started off my education in Hyderabad, and my initial ambition was to become an IAS officer. And I started my preparation for IAS exams from 10th grade. And I was probably one of the most loyal customers of Competition Success Review. And I used to have encyclopedias, 12 issues bound for 10 years. I did a lot of preparation. But after I finished my BCom, my mother told me, look, there are 100,000 people writing UPSC exam. Why do you want to take a chance? Do something, do a professional course and then take your IAS. So that'll prepare you better. So I took to CA. Commerce and finance always interested me. And I also knew from my childhood that I was not a science student. So I developed a lot of interest in finance, commerce, anything that I could touch and feel. And my biggest problem with science was when they defined atom, I couldn't see an atom. So it never convinced me. And looking back, I wonder how much I missed on science, but that is my humble beginning, and I did my CA from Ferguson's. I got quite lucky. Had opportunities with large corporates because I trained at KPMG, which was Pete Mavick, when I did my CA. And at a young age of 20, I had the chance to audit multinational companies and Fortune 500 companies. And people were wondering, what is this small kid doing in the boardroom in the audit finalization? It was very it was very daunting. It was kind of a very I had a very nervous start because I knew I was reaching for the sky when I had to kind of take baby steps. But I was always impatient for success, and success in my own mind, whatever it meant at that time. So I finished my CA, started with UB Group, became the financial controller. In 5 years, again, I was quite lucky to join the UB Group. They had a biotech startup in 1988 in collaboration with Pharmacia AB Sweden. So I was always in a startup in a big brand. So that kind of helped me. Yeah, I got the right platform. I also got an opportunity to innovate, to create processes, systems, etc. From a time when computers were just getting introduced, and did a lot of work in industry as CFO, CEO, joint consulting. I was at leadership levels in Pricewaterhouse and Arthur Anderson, and it was actually in Y2K that there was a big transformation in my career, because until Y2K, as consultants, and I'm sure Arun would agree with me on this, uh, as consultants, we used to take millions of dollars of engagements to Fortune 500 clients and say, look, you need to sign off on a transformation engagement or a SAP implementation project or whatever. No tangible benefits, indirect growth, immeasurable benefits. And they used to sign off fearing that on year 2000 Y2K, world is going to collapse.
Mhm.
So companies like L&T and Shell and Motorola, ABN AMRO, and name any company, they were all catching up with this Y2K race. And when internet opened up close to Y2K, that's when the industry sat back and realized that they'd sunk billions and billions of dollars of money, but there was no return on investment. And that's when the consulting industry matured. And so in Y2K, I was headhunted by Arthur Anderson to lead their shared services practice for Asia and Europe. And that is when I realized that paper deliverables is not going to get you anywhere. We really need to make a difference to top line and bottom line. And thanks to internet, the business models changed. And we used to go into companies like JP Morgan, Castrol, BP, any vertical across verticals. It was all about, okay, guys, tell us what is the difference you can make to the top line and the bottom line. Right. So it evolved. I think there was a huge shift in terms of consulting dollars, the way technology was deployed, and the expectations from those change management projects and so on. So I worked with more than 200 Fortune 500 companies, helping them to transform, and I also had the opportunity to bring several top multinational companies to India, specifically uh, companies like Castrol. I was leading the first JP Morgan offshoring project, which we seeded in Bombay with 4 people, which probably has more than 20,000 people now, and so on and so forth. So So that was very satisfying. So to me, it was about what is the tangible value we are bringing to the table for the money that was on the table from these clients. And close to 2002, when Enron happened, I was at Arthur Anderson, and we all had to leave, unfortunately. And I founded a financial services startup in Bombay and took an exit. And then I moved to US with Ramco as their global CEO. And peak of 2008, I wrote my own severance package because US was going through a huge recession. When I took the mandate from Ramco, my friends and colleagues from the industry were telling me, Guru, you're taking a huge risk because you're going to US at a time when markets are crashing, and it's like going into a war when chips are down. And I think unconsciously I was always a risk taker. I kept taking risks as I moved in my career, won some, lost some. So I wanted to take this opportunity, came to US. Uh, it was all laid out, and God was kind. It was a brilliant opportunity. But 2008, I realized that, I need to go myself. And I spoke to the board, then founded two companies in the US. My first startup in US was a technology startup in mobility, and we worked with IBM. This was in the peak of recession again. So when everyone is closing business, I opened a business, and again my friends are like, "What are you doing?" I said, "No, this is what I want to do." So I just went by my instincts, gut feel, and of course, thanks to my friends, family, everyone who supported me. And when I took an exit from my technology company, there were a lot of companies from across the globe approaching me to help them either to raise capital in US or to help them find partners, get revenue, etc. So I slowly realized that every company in the world needs only two levers to grow. One is capital, and the other is revenue, right? So uh, then I started helping them with some capital raise, and I was doing investment banking in some sense, and then it was time for me to get licensed. So that's a little bit about my story. So currently, I'm in the financial services world. I have a wealth management practice. I've managed more than 25 million in capital, and I've also helped several companies to raise capital, grow, find partners through mergers and acquisitions. And one of the key learnings in the last few years has been that there is so much value that Indian companies bring and the Indian business community brings. It is time to monetize Indian human capital, and there are ways and means to do that. There's a huge opportunity with capital markets in the US, and to look at a list of just 14 companies from India which are listed in US stock exchanges. Given the depth India has, the width and the depth, I think Indian companies can do a lot more in the US. And it's not just about raising capital or money; it's also about globalizing the Indian economy, and bringing international bridges to India. I think that's a domain where I personally, coming from finance background, I'm happy to play that role, and opportunities have been aligned with what I wanted to do. So there is a significant trend for Indian companies coming to US to tap capital markets, and I know there is a vision for India to be a $5 trillion economy. And somebody said long back, a $1 billion company can be built only through capital markets. Otherwise, like Infosys, it might take 20 years to build a $1 billion company, right? So capital markets, I think, is a big gateway. It's not just for American companies, if you look at the number of IPOs Chinese companies do, it is really very revealing. So I think that's an underleveraged opportunity for India, and that's something that I'm kind of happy to partner with. I've done it in the past. There are several pre-revenue startup companies from India that can get listed in the US and get funded. So, and there are unknown opportunities that seem impossible, but they're doable. And I think that is where we want to build that bridge between US and India to help our fellow Indians to leverage what is there in the globe, right? So today it's not about an Indian company or an American company or a Singaporean company, because I remember when I met C.K. Prahlad about 12 years back. In one of the books, he wrote about combining global resources for unique outcomes. Right. So I think that is very, very critical. We have to combine global resources to produce an outcome that we need. So if India is looking at a $5 trillion economy, Indians have to combine global resources to do that, and it will become that much more easier and that much more quicker. So I think the way things are going, it's kind of flowing, from US and other countries in the world. There has been a significant awareness of India, the potential, and with the world changing, like you rightly mentioned, Dr. Shekhar, you mentioned about two things that have changed the world. One is healthcare issue, which is COVID, and the second is if you look at the energy sector, right? The shift towards clean energy, where India can play a huge role. Supply chain, which is a big issue across the globe, where India has a huge opportunity there, and of course, from a healthcare standpoint, Modi just took a mandate from US, or took an opportunity from US, where Biden promised that India will be manufacturing 1 billion vaccines, and US is going to support that. And so I think the micro level and macro level goals are coming together in some way. And from my point of view, I'm also a part of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. There are 3,000 chartered accountants in the US, and we all have come together. And now we have Institute of Chartered Accountants US chapters, and there are 8 chapters in the US. I'm on the board of Dallas chapter. So 3,000 CAs in the US are in very influential positions, both in the government as well as the private sector, including several of our close friends in World Bank, etc., where decisions happen about funding Asian projects, etc. So as CA community, we are trying to do our bit. I know we still have a long way to go, but we've already taken the initial steps to consolidate the power of this community to effectively help Indian companies, Indians in India, Indians in America, with opportunity, whether it could be career opportunities, could be opportunities for startups, could be opportunities at the government level to influence policy making, to tell the India story at the macro level, and to really position India at all levels for a country like America to really partner in the true sense of the word, right? And it has to go beyond the political speeches that we hear all the time. And we're also closely collaborated with the local consulate, Indian consulate general in Houston, in Washington D.C. So we've all come together, and I think that's a very encouraging trend, which was missing even 5 years back. I think that's kind of helping us to do our bit. And so overall, from my perspective, it's been an exciting journey. where I think for Indian diaspora, Indian companies that are looking for support, and whether you look at FDIs or whether you're looking at a $5 trillion vision, it has to happen. It has to start somewhere, right? So for example, there are a few companies from India which have approached us. They want to raise capital or they want to do an IPO in the US. We have the necessary environment for them to come here and leverage that, and I think that's going to be a engine for growth. And I see a huge collaboration in healthcare and defense at all levels again. And Indian doctors are doing a fantastic job in the US, and there's so much of offline collaboration as well in the healthcare sector. Another sector that's really making waves is cybersecurity, and I think US is looking up to India for the talent, for the technology, for bandwidth to tackle the cyber risks, which is probably like you rightly mentioned, we're fighting a war without any weapons, and we're fighting a war in the internet. And I think India, with its human capital and technology base, can play a huge role over there. And it, if we really have to converge on India's $5 trillion vision and help Indians moving between India and US, there are several things we can do at an individual level. I have had the opportunity to collaborate with India US Business Forum, and also collaborate with a research foundation. It's a think tank, Indus International Research Foundation, where we have a Indo-US corridor, and again, it's not always about money and capital and profitability. It's also about there is so much support Indians need when they go abroad, especially when they come to countries like US. There's so much Indians need to know and they don't know. So in some way, I think we need to build a social fabric for the Indian community moving globally, and that's part of the think tank that I am. It's a non-profit that we're trying in our own modest way, and and to add value, in concrete terms, this we were happy to kind of share more information where Indian business world, I think, has not even leveraged US markets, uh, not leveraged even 5% of the potential. And I really want Indian companies to know, even if you're not making a single dollar revenue, if you have a great idea, if you have technology, and if you have a good story, there is a huge opportunity outside India, in the US, through capital markets, through investment banks, through funds. For example, there are ESG funds. Environmental sustainability investing theme is so hot now. There's a lot of opportunity available. So I'm telling myself, Dr. Sekhar and Arun and Akram, that this least we can do is be available in the Indo-US corridor in some way or the other. And I think Policy Times is doing a great job in providing the platform for people like us to collaborate and share our thoughts. So I know I've kind of rattled out a laundry list of things and ideas, and I'll pause here and take questions. And Dr. Sekhar, over to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see. See, that is what is an American talking.
Indian American.
I don't know. The Indian person is common to all. So now let us see an Indian Singaporean. So
Sure.
you are there, Arun. You have the mic with you. Same structure. You could, but instead of, we were thinking of having 5 minute, 10 minutes. Now we'll have one go, and then we'll conclude with the 2 minute end. Arun ji, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, we can't hear you, Arun.
Can you hear now?
Volume is very low.
Is it? Hello.
We can hear you, but volume is low. Little.
Okay, cool.
If you have any headphones, so you can use it. That will increase the sound.
It's not a
Okay.
mic is there, but volume is low. It should come to the same level as it was before when we started.
Okay.
Yeah, now it is better.
Now
Little
better.
more. Now you can talk.
Now better.
Maybe talk a little louder only.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sekhar, and thank you, Mr. Akram. Thank you, Guru. Nice, nice to get together again once again in this initiative of this unusual program. Okay. So basically, how we are going to how we are going to align our and our experience.
The volume is very low, Arun, even now.
Okay, just give me a while. I'll be back.
Yeah. Because we can hear same thing, no, Guru. You couldn't hear, no?
I could not hear Arun.
Same thing. So I was just thinking whether because sometimes
Right.
you could have problems here.
Technology has to play through.
Technology. This is called Murphy's law. I don't know why it's called Murphy's law, but at the wrong time, wrong things won't work. In any IT program, something to do the video won't work. Something to do with this. In any electrical program, the current won't be there.
Oh yeah. Like
the
this.
famous thing is that the 2 launches of Microsoft both failed.
Yeah. Like they say, no party is complete without breaking a
poor
glass.
Bill Gates is standing in this thing, launching the biggest product.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Now we can hear. Yeah.
Now
Please
better.
Yeah.
Anyway, I put this instead of Bluetooth.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, sorry for this interruptions. Anyway, see what we look at it is a kind of empowering, the experience and the people at the other side of this technological world, like America, or where the funds coming, or where the platform, like scalability is available. Okay, so again, let me just give a brief. Previously, I mentioned my background is basically I'm a mechanical engineer, and I did my MBA, and I specialized with precision tool design in technology. So I moved to Singapore 30 years ago to work on the CAD CAM programming in these machine tools. We call it as machine producing machines. Okay, so this opportunity of learning this precision manufacturing of products and the consistency of quality required in many of these end use or applications. By the time the technological evolution happened in the IT world, and combining this, many new things happen, many new products. Okay, so now one side you have the very big market like India, pan India. When you want to launch something, you have a very huge advantage. India with the scalability to test any new product. On the other hand, the investment support, seed funding, or the lab facility, or the initial research related activities or manpower. This is something is slightly different in other countries outside India. They are very focused because of their smaller size or because of their specialty in particular. For example, if it takes now, we used to hear a lot of things about the chip shortage. The semiconductor chip shortage resulted into many closure or down of automobile industry in many countries. But if we compare, even though Singapore is the by size, it is you can say one district or 2 districts a collector managing in India, only that size. But here it is having a very unique strength in electronics in terms of semiconductor industry. Okay, that requires some special skill sets. So when we want to empower the Indian industry, especially towards this uh, in the economical, the upgrades targeting several trillion economy. That means you have to first empower the technology and the skill set of the people. It has happened in the IT industry with a gradual and a steady evolution from call centers, then from engineering, from design. Now we go to artificial intelligence like that. But in the case of manufacturing, precision manufacturing or electronics or semiconductor, so the other countries they have the unique advantage. When we just find these two synergy by applying the right strategy, there is a huge advantage for Indian companies. Okay, because when they collaborate with the industry leaders in outside, I mean, for example, US, Singapore, or Europe, wherever, that technology can be immediately applied into the Indian market, which has got the advantage of scalability. We start with one province, one state, then we go to multiple. So it is like a pan India, then it is by itself is almost 20% of the global market by population alone. So that's a unique advantage. On the other hand, our Indian manpower, one of the youngest manpower in the world, with more youth, is only in India, no other country. So that advantage definitely, I think one day we will see our target as like 4 5 million or 5 trillion size economy, but we might even exceed this. The real trick is, for example, now the trend is SPAC, unicorn companies, SPAC models, SPAC listings. So I think with the key strength with IT and technological upgrades happening in India, I think there will be more Indian companies will evolve into unicorn and the SPAC in the near future, either listed in US or Singapore or outside India. That will play a major role. That will play a major role creating the market dynamics uh, as well as the empowerment of the upcoming the infrastructure. For example, the development is happening in selected areas. I think when experts like Dr.P.Sekhar working on the smart city programs, so they can just position this by balancing the technology and the scalability of the market, depending on the buying power. So today, when we say this is everybody is your neighbor because of the connectivity by the mobile platform and also the internet and other tools. Because many of these software licenses today now have come to these SaaS models, software as a service model, platform as a service model. So this scalability, I think India will have the unique advantage of spending maybe very optimum cost, but enjoying the fullest features. So maybe I foresee in another 5 to 10 years, many things in India we would be having more advanced system. For example, if you take drones, so in the agricultural or in the other research areas, India will have very advanced drone systems. We might even one day see that when we go to the beach nearby, there will be something like a car, but suddenly you could see that car is like Pushpak Viman in Puranas, it will just be flying with the drones from one city to the other to tackle the, maybe maybe the traffic or some other things. So there's a huge potential. There's a huge potential. And the other thing is the people. The people are willing to evaluate, willing to accept new things. Uh, same thing like other outside world. They are willing to pay for a premium and they want to upgrade. And that is why we take this mobile industry. Many things happen just like that. Every day we see a lot of new things, and the final products when they hit outside India at the same cost, but it will fetch high revenue in terms of dollar value. That's by value addition. So the cost advantage and the skill set available in India is going to play a very unique, vital role. The other thing, maybe when we take this security or cyber security specifically, I recently I come across with one of the research initiatives uh, organized by a very interesting person, my guru and well-wisher, Professor Rajan. Uh, Currently, we work with him on a cryptology program. That means a supercomputer of today's highest level specification would take nearly 100 years to crack that algorithm. That kind of knowledge, that kind of knowledge is available in India. Those professors, researchers who spend quite a lot of time throughout their career. Now that knowledge is available. That can be applied to several technologies. Then the end products. So that will play a very vital role. Maybe other countries would take more time or more resources to even need to evaluate these to come out with the final product. But India will be in a better position because of this knowledge. It will serve as a knowledge capital for the world. Then the world will just do only two things: search. One is search, another one is scale it up, scalability. Where there will be only two things in future: searching and scalability. Anything from economy or technology, whatever. So India's not only economy, India's knowledge capital is going to be the key for the world economy. So the Indian professionals not only bring the experience and the knowledge from outside, but the connectivity with the India, which gives them the cultural values and the highest ethics, moral values. That will, I think, give a very good opportunity for the global community to learn from Indians. They will be just seeing it like a mirror. When we see India, uh, it will be much advanced than many countries in the world, but at a fraction of a cost. Because the same technology once it is invented or developed, but the user size is very big. That means the cost of ownership or the usage will be fractional compared to other countries. So that's a unique strength of India, I would say. So only thing is uh, maybe this kind of situation like COVID, very unusual sometimes, but it has given the thought how to optimize. When we say uh, many times you see too good is not cost effective, so you have to optimize. That happens only by the scalability. That is the unique advantage of India. So achieving a kind of the target of 5 trillion or whatever, I think that should happen. Or we may even see one day it would exceed than expected. Okay, what we should aim is how the Indian community professionals can work with our our local contacts and friends there to help and support mutually to get into a common strategy which uses the advantage of both experiences at a fractional cost. So I think maybe once we evaluate, once we bring a model, then we can say this particular technology. That means I remember those days when e-governance was implemented in India from the paper, writing things in the paper in government offices. E-governance, for example, once in Andhra Pradesh like that, everything was online. Suddenly in Bangalore, suddenly everything online 15, 20 years ago. So today, it is just, just you replicate this into many other parts of the world. So in India can really give a very value added uniqueness in terms of not only technology, but also the upgrading possibilities for the global community. We have to look at everything. It's a global perspective. How it is going to be cost effective if the same thing is going to be implemented in one part of the world, Europe or Africa or outside India, but India will still become like a hub. This that is the strength we have. So with that achieving this target or tackling an issue like whether cyber security or maybe a COVID kind of situation. I also had another opportunity to discuss with Professor Rajan. He was mentioning at a nano level, there is a possibility to program. That means it will fight at the cells like a robot. Instead of putting vaccines, instead of putting pharmaceutical kind of this one, robotic. This one is it's possible to program. That means you go into the inner space. So that is all the unique strength of the knowledge capital in India. So not only the economy, but also the global value will be upgraded by the contribution of the Indian professionals, Indian market, and the size of the economy, which we are aiming to achieve in India. And then the outside, they will say, okay, this is the most successful model evolved from the Indian market, Indian dynamics, Indian users. Okay. So similarly, we have to learn what other countries they are good in developing. What then we exchange, what we are good in certain things. So it's going to be a very globalized economy or technology or usage. So everybody will become our neighbor. Okay, that is what it makes us Indians. We are very unique. Okay, we have an identity, and not only that, we are contributing to the humanity as a whole with some specific value added value system for our Indian culture and Indian heritage. So I think this is kind of opportunity. Everyone should be open and willing to exchange ideas or learn from each other. Just like seeing ourselves on a mirror. Okay, so it's a good opportunity. Okay, and, but by the way, if any other questions, maybe we can take from our Guru Akram. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Arun. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, no. I'm just.
Thank you.
Second. Thank you. No, I thought we were saying something else. So anyway, thanks to Arun. Thanks to Guru. something common between the two, where the two are in two extreme different time zones. For Arun, it will be maybe 10 o'clock, and for Guru, it is mornings 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. And other this thing is, both have had extremely good education in India, because many times people feel Indian education is not good. In every education, there are bad people, and we can't keep that as an example. There is Arun and there is Guru also, who are also coming from India and who have made their mark in a global, highly competitive environment, which credit goes to them also, and credit goes to the way they have been brought up. And also the fact that every country is looking for something good. They are not looking for any mediocre. They are not looking for anything negative. Like the Guru said, even when I was doing my MSc, so many professors would come and say, come on, you all come, we'll give you 10 times your Indian salary and all. I used to ask them, why is it? I didn't even make my passport. I didn't want to go, and for whatever reason. So he would say, no, you Indians are so good. I'm telling about 1970s. Okay. That, somebody is in X field, and in Y field, he's coming and topping in USA, which is not our local students. So right from that time, the seeds have been shown. The goodwill which has been created by those people who have gone in 60s and 70s, that is giving rise to an accelerated growth now. Today, there is a full welcome sign, and I hope those welcome sign will be maintained, because there will always be some negative people from India. We should triply ensure that those negatives are in my book on overseas Indians. I'm saying what we should do with negatives and what we should do with positives, and how we should also encourage foreigners to come to India. Fortunately, last edition was on Indo-German. I had one where we found that there are 25,000 Indians in Germany and there are 800 Germans studying in India. Same way, in whatever we do, there should be a balance. It should never be one way. Things don't work. So even my own overseas Indians, I'm saying every year India should plan to send 3 million Indians abroad, and India should welcome 1 million foreigners to come and study, do work in India, so that there is a proper homogeneity. Of course, there should be more Indians should go abroad because of the population, the thing and need of many countries. Japan and all needs India desperately, because their population is dwindling. They are not able to this thing. According to one facts and figures, which was put in our own one of the sessions, that 23 to 24% of Japanese don't want to get married, and out of those who are married, 20% don't want to have children. So that means 50% of married people have no question of having children, not even of the total. So India is there, as a country which respects all the countries, which doesn't do as if we're doubling. So another small thing which I tell about Indians like Guru and Arun is that they are all like our supercomputers who have been exported abroad. Okay, the two examples I give. One is the example that they are like supercomputers and they are doing extremely good job for the country. Second is, on a typical Indian sense, this is like an educated age. This is like a girl from a house getting married to somebody else, which means they belong to both the places. Okay, so in both examples, the idea is that there is a feeling that other thing is good and the original thing is not bad. Original thing, the girl doesn't get married because the parents' house was bad, but she is fully committed to both. And same way when I'm saying supercomputers are supercomputers, and whatever it gives huge returns, it gives huge plus point to the other country of stay and country of origin. So this is minor examples I give so that we put ourselves in a proper perspective, so that we don't feel that anybody is obliging anybody. And so now to conclude today's thing, after the excellent talk for both of you, I'd like to have one minute talk by Guru and later by Arun. Please, Guru.
Thank you, Dr. Sekhar. I think I've already overrun my time. So
you did a good job. I think Arun enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a nice morning for me. Glad to hear Arun's views as well. And there's so much in technology. Technology is going to be a big driver across the globe. And I know people like Arun are doing a great job in Singapore. And again, thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Sekhar. You're doing a great job with so much of consistency. And thanks to Akram and Policy Times.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you, Dr. Sekhar. Thank you, Mr. Akram. This is a wonderful opportunity. Once again, I thank you for this. Share my views and my my thought is India one day will be, exporting these ideas also overseas. Okay, like this platform itself, Dr. Sekhar has given a very unique model. I think one day maybe the policy makers will come and ask you, sir, can you give a similar model to my country? Okay, they may look for you. So with that, thanks once again. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Akram,
Thank you.
your job now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sekhar, for spearheading, chairing, and leading such intellectual and highly relevant discussions for national building and national reincarnation. Guru and Arunji, really an honor to get associated with you. A lot of expectations from overseas Indians, global Indians like you, to reorient our mindset towards growth and actualizing our dreams. This is the dreams of our forefathers, from Gandhi to many previous generations. India was sone ki chidiya jo kaha jata tha India ko. It is still there. It is a land of opportunities. It is just that, and we Indians are absolutely different from others. Our approach, our strategy, our thinking is very different from others. Now, the thing is, let us realize, let us actualize what India truly represents and truly is. So, thank you, viewers. If you like discussions like this, do subscribe and watch Policy Times events. We will, as we committed, that we will bring experts, real achievers like we had today, to interact with you. Thank you. Keep watching.